Okay, here we go. So this group is absolutely amazing. I'm so loving being the leader of this group, Be the Light, inspiration and uplifting stories from around the world. This group is just over 2 weeks old and there's almost 1,400 members. Very exciting. And this group is, I created this group on a middle of the night idea. Basically, I knew I wanted to do something to inspire people and uplift people during this time, and I had this download in the middle of the night, started the group, and here we are. Had 1,000 members in the first 9 days. It was absolutely amazing. So this group is all about inspiring you and uplifting you during this dark time, to give you a break from the depressing news that's happening and to share the good that's happening in the world. There are so many people doing amazing, incredible, kind, loving things to bring light to the world and positivity right now. And so that's what this group is all about. You all are welcome to share positive, uplifting things in the group. Share it with your friends, invite your friends and family and people who would love this group as well. We want to grow this group and create a ripple effect across the world, and we are doing that. And so we want to keep doing that and keep growing. So I encourage you, share this video, share any of the other posts with your friends and family, and let's just make the biggest ripple effect that we can during this time in the world. So I want to also, share this video, and we're doing a speaker hour once a week. So every Wednesday from 5 to 6 o'clock Pacific time, we have amazing speakers come on and share different things about how to relieve stress and anxiety, about what you can do in the world right now, about how to stay in abundance mindset right now during this time. A lot of us are, we don't have the jobs that we had before, or things have changed, very different, right? We live in a very different world today than we did even 3 weeks ago. So I'm bringing on speakers to support you to move through this time. So I'm very happy for you all to be here watching with us today. And I want to introduce my speakers. I have Nafsheen Luhar here today. I have Raina Rose, and I have Ashley Ahmadzai. Did I say that right?
Yes, Ahmadzai.
Yay. All right, so we're gonna have everyone speak today, and Ashley is gonna speak first. And Ashley is an intuitive life coach and manifestation expert, and she's gonna help us today to understand how your emotions like fear and anxiety and stress are suppressed within our energy system. And she's gonna give us a very simple daily meditation practice that we can use to release those trapped energies from the day. I know that even though, I come on here and I'm love and light, but sometimes, throughout the day, I'm up and down. There's emotions coming and going. And so I've been trying to meditate more and do more tapping and do all the things, breathing, breath work, to support my energy system as well. So I'm very excited to hear from you, Ashley, today, to support us all in releasing those energies and anxieties that we're having throughout the day. So take it away, Ashley.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, my friend. Yes, as mentioned, my name is Ashley Ahmadzai. And you guys, I am an intuitive. I am very psychically inclined to pick up on all of the energy. And I'm sure that all of you guys are experiencing it too. The wave of panic. How can something so small have such a huge global effect? It's like this giant earthquake that has shaken everybody. And so I was really shaken in my own space as well. And usually when we experience an emotion, we can work that energy and then release it. But it's like every day there's a new damage report of something that's been coming up, right? So how do we handle this endurance? What is during this time, while we're running this energetic marathon, if you will, what is a simple tool that we can use to release that fear, anxiety, panic, stress, whatever it is that we're feeling? How can we release that every day so we can go to sleep with a clean slate? So first, I think it's really important to understand how energy is really stored in our system. And then I'll lead you through this really brief daily meditation, which has been working wonders for me. So the frequency of thought is translated through emotion, and emotion is what we feel, right? And if you think about and you break that down as energy as motion, energy in motion, that's what it is. This emotion is inside of us. And an example is if you've ever had heartbreak and you feel your heart, maybe it is your first breakup, maybe it's someone told you no, and you feel that pain in your chest. If you've ever felt that like heartbreak and that acid in your chest, an intangible emotion like heartbreak, it can't hurt you, it can't slap you in the face, it can't actually do any physical like action to you, but you can feel it in your body because that's an example of something intangible, right? That frequency of thought translated into emotion physically living within our tissues. So another one would be if you're nervous to give a presentation or to do a speech, where do you feel that? Right in your intestines, right? All of a sudden you have to like go to the bathroom a million times, or you feel sick to your stomach, or maybe you feel butterflies. It's because again, that emotion will translate and it'll manifest into our physical form. So if you're feeling the panic, if you're feeling the stress, it's real. What do we do now that it's inside of our space? How do we release that? So I'm going to lead you through this meditation. You can sit either cross-legged if you would like, or sit up and stand tall with your feet on the floor, whatever works for you. I'm going to keep this simple. So that way this is something you can do any moment in the day when you really need it, but definitely before bed. So let's just find our breath here. You can rest your hands wherever feels most comfortable for you. Deep inhale. Beautiful. Just finding our center, finding our breath. Feeling your body relax, maybe gently rolling and relaxing your shoulders, maybe rolling your neck, just releasing some of that tension, just getting in your body and saying hello. Beautiful. Now I invite you to highlight whatever energy you are feeling right now. Maybe it is fear or a little bit of stress, overwhelm, whatever that is. You can pick one or all of them, and I invite you to do a body scan from the very top of your body, the top of your crown chakra, just at the top of your head, and gently scan all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And as we do this scan, we are intentionally looking for anywhere in our body where this dense energy of anxiety, stress, or panic, wherever that is in your body, let's just scan, identify it. And once you see it there, continue to scan. Just take note. Just scanning through your torso and really paying attention to the details here. Scanning through your organs, the front and the back of your spine, through your hips, noticing where any of this energy may be living in your body. Beautiful. And just deep inhales, deep exhales. And the first step is always awareness, becoming aware of where this is in our body. And the second step is I invite you to create a rose. This is our sticky rose. You can envision it slightly to your left or slightly to your right. Just take note of what this rose looks like. What is the length of the stem? How many petals does it have? How many leaves does it have? What color is it? Is it in full bloom or halfway open? What color is it? And we're setting the intention for this rose to be a sticky rose, or if you would like to envision a magnet for any of the fear, stress, anxiety, toxin, or burden in our space that we have identified, that anything in our space will go into that rose. Beautiful. I see many of you releasing already. Well done. Now really using the breath here. With breath comes flow. So as you inhale, golden swirls of light filling your body all the way from the very, very top to the very, very bottom of your tippy toes. Calling in that beautiful white light, golden light, sparkle light, whatever feels best for you, gathering around any of the density or tension that you've already identified. And as you exhale, gently feeling that release into that sticky rose. Beautiful. Inhaling again, calling in the highest frequencies of love and light, joy, abundance, opportunity, and using this beautiful breath to gather around any of the densities that we have already identified, to gather around and gently release it through the exhale and into the sticky rose. Beautiful. And with each cycle of the breath, feel your body relax and let go. So you give yourself permission to release that which no longer serves you. And much of this energy may not belong to you in the first place. It may be somebody else's worry or burden or stress or projection. Just release, release, and release. Beautiful, you guys. I'm already feeling the densities just flush out. Wonderful. And be sure as you inhale, filling your lungs all the way up to the very, very tippy top, and send that golden light all the way down through your hips as well, gathering any of the residual densities in that area. Especially as women in particular, we tend to hold a lot of density into our hips in that space. So let's use that bright light to gather around it, release it through the exhale and into that rose. Beautiful. And I invite you one more inhale, and then one more exhale, fully emptying our lungs all the way down to the bottom. Seeing every last bit of that stress, worry, anxiety, whatever was once in your space, be released and let go. And come back to neutral and saying hello again to that rose. Thank you so much for being here as our tool today to release this trapped energy, suppressed emotion that is in our space. And this is where it gets really fun. We will attach a, you want to say a rocket or like a firework to the bottom of that stem. We're going to light it and send it straight up into the cosmos and see it explode into tiny little sparkles, knowing that the universe knows exactly what to do with those pieces and giving it permission to be cleared, transmuted across all time, dimension, space, and reality. No longer has to be in our space because we've chosen to let go and reclaim our energy in this moment in time. One more deep inhale to really anchor that in, calling in, reclaiming your energy exactly as you are and as you're worthy to be. And when you are ready, sinking into deep relaxation with that exhale. And when you do feel ready, I invite you to open your eyes, come back to the present moment. How are you guys feeling? Good, you guys are all muted. That was a little bit faster than I thought, so that's perfect. Yes, all of that was in 9 minutes. So if you guys are feeling the dense energies, if you're whatever energy that you're feeling, maybe you have kids at home and it's feeling chaotic, or maybe somebody has just lost their job, whatever that emotion is, let's first become aware of it. Step 2, where is that in our body? Step 3, create your sticky rose. And step 4, release it. Let it go. It doesn't have to be yours anymore. And then finally, give yourself permission to light that baby on fire and send it straight into the cosmos to be recycled across all time, dimension, space, and reality. It does not have to be in your space anymore. And now you are starting fresh and anew. And I'd love your feedback too. I'd love to know, what was your experience during that meditation? And also, this is something you could use every single day, before you go to bed or the first thing when you wake up in the morning, before you go to work. Oh my gosh, if you're on here and you're a nurse, I hope you're able to use this tool before and after you come and go from work. And if you guys would like access to more of this awesome information, you can check out, actually everything's easier on my website, ashleymudzai.com. You'll see my Instagram, my Facebook, my group, as well as my YouTube channel and all the amazing content yet to come. And we're still going. Any questions?
So many buttons to remember. That was awesome, Ashley. Thank you so much. I definitely felt the energy in my body, and I loved the rocket, sending up with a rocket at the end. So yeah, we could do that anytime during the day, and thank you so much. You can come back to this video, everyone, and watch this over and over again and go through that meditation anytime you need to. So thank you, Ashley, so much. And everyone, contact Ashley if you would like to chat with her more. And Ashley, make sure you put your links in the chat as well, or not the comments on the video. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was amazing. And now, and everyone, if you're watching, please share this video. If you haven't shared it yet, click the share button and share it to your profile or your groups or wherever, so that we can spread all of this amazing energy far and wide. And next we have Raina Rose. I'm so excited to chat with her. Raina is a soul nutritionist, and she's going to talk to us today about how to maintain abundance consciousness during these challenging times, which is so important because here we are, many of us are not working, and so to stay out of that fear and maintain that consciousness and feeling of abundance through this time. So thank you so much, Raina. Take it away.
Thank you, Erin. Well, I want to tell all of you out there, if you want to manifest more money, go grab a pen and paper and take notes. So first of all, I want to thank Erin. Erin, you are such a light. And I thank you so much for putting this group together and helping us all just build each other up, see the beauty, and bring light into dark situations. And I want to give you a huge shout out. Everybody, I took up Erin on her offer for a coaching session last week. And I just want to say she is an incredible coach. She's so good at pulling the answers out of you and to really coaching you in your own value system. I know I've had some coaches that they coach me kind of on their value system, but Erin is such a great listener and so good at just pulling out your value system and helping you to be like a human being and not always a human doing, and knowing how amazing you are. She's just a great confidence coach. So thank you, Erin, for this amazing group. It's really fabulous, and I'm super grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. So I'm just thinking, I have to say this. I really think this newscaster look we all have going on Zoom, is kind of the modern day mullet. The mullet was, business in the front and party in the back. And now we're business on the top and pajamas on the bottom. So I love this new era of comfort. And just saying, we got to be in high vibrations to manifest lots of money and keep our abundance mentality. So a little bit about me. My name's Raina Rose. I'm called the Soul Nutritionist. I host a show on Roku TV. It is on CTM channel, and it is called Soul Nutrition. And so we go over the various ways of nourishing our soul. I'm also part of this book, Natural and Organic Healing, Volume 3, and I'm working to co-host a Well Corona Global Online Summit to help people out in this time. So we are working together. We're bringing, there's tons of speakers out there that are out of work right now because all the events are closed, and lots of people out there needing to increase their faith. And we're raising money for charity in the process. So I can't wait to invite you all to that. And but what do I do that benefits you? What I do that benefits you is I teach you about keeping your money and earning more of it. So if you're taking notes and you want to make more money, raise your hand. Like seriously out there, look funny in front of your family and raise your hand, all right? So we all are about making more money, right? And so here's my story. I have a show, I do various things, I write books, and I was on someone's podcast not that long ago, and I was explaining to him, he had asked me about how I saved $250,000 in 5 years with a $75,000 salary. Do the math, that's almost impossible. There was tons of manifestations, tons of things that, you really have to be in that vibration of doing the impossible. And I started out from $6,000 of debt. So, then add another 6,000 onto that $250,000, over $250,000. So anyway, next day he calls me up and he asked me if I'll coach him and his wife. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to be a coach, but okay, yes, I'll coach you. You've asked me. And so they were already coaches. They already were NLP certified. I'm like, what can I teach you? But they were making great money. It was just slipping through their hands. How many of us know people who make great money, but it just slips through their hands? They don't keep their money, right? And so since we started working together, the wife's business increased by 4 times. His income went up 30%. They've manifested, their debt's gone down. Their savings account went up for the first time in their lives. They manifested better home, more time as a couple, more time with their family. And they just called me up and asked, hey, we just made an extra $12,000. What do we do with it? So let me teach you how we did that, right? So why is money important? Well, we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And so these bottom needs if we are not fulfilled in our physiological and safety with money, it's really hard to think about those higher needs and get to self-actualization. So 3 phases of wealth actualization. Write these down. So number 1, mentality. If you don't have your mentality right, you're going to self-sabotage. If you can say the phrase, I deserve to be wealthy, and then it comes up in your subconscious as BS, no you don't, then you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to bring in plenty of money, sure, perhaps, but then you're going to just let it go. You're going to make bad investments. You're going to do things because you don't truly believe that you deserve to be wealthy. So number 1 in the 3 phases to wealth actualization is mentality. Number 2, organization. So if we don't organize our accounts in the right way and have places for our money to be safe, then it's going to slip through the cracks. So we got to get it organized, right? Number 3 is creative manifestation. This is where we get creative. We get in those high vibrations. Maybe we use Ashley's technique to get ourselves in a really good vibration. We let all the bad things go off into our rose. And once that is in the skyrocket, we are ready to think of creative ideas for creating multiple streams of income and infinite abundance, right? So those are like kind of my 3-phase process for wealth actualization. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper in these couple minutes we have into the 3 sacred practices for maintaining that abundance mentality in challenging times. So we're going to keep it simple, 3 and 3. Number 1, reminding yourself. So write that down. We're going to remind ourselves how I use the word God. You can use universe, whatever works for you. How has the universe had your back before? How has God had your back in the past? Go through and make a list of all the ways that you were like, I really don't think this is going to work out. And it worked out better than you could have ever hoped or imagined, right? As we look in the stories of the Bible, we see the Israelites. We all pretty much know of, Moses leading the people out of Egypt, God parting the Red Seas, and then God brings bread down from heaven that they called manna, and he cracks a rock open for them to drink water out of like this stream, right? And so once they got into the promised land, they would sing about how God opened the Red Sea for them and they walked on dry land. They would sing about manna from heaven. They would sing about water from a rock and pools of streaming water that they could drink. Why? Because our natural human reaction when times get tough is to go, oh no, this is going to crush me. I'm not going to be able to, handle this time. And so when we remind ourselves, last time I came through it better than I was before. Last time I actually had, I became a better person because of it. And all these times have made me more abundant, and it's going to happen again. So getting on to the second step for the sacred practices of abundance mentality, affirming yourself, going into your affirmations. So we want to work on our affirmations, say them out loud, write them down. Pretty much every surface on my house has like affirmations written on it. Look behind Erin if you see her screen. It says confident woman and shine, like dream, inspire. We want to tell ourselves all these affirmations. And so when we're affirming, we also want to see when those blocks come up. If you say, I deserve to be wealthy, and your mind says, no, you don't, that's where you want to go in and do some work, maybe with a coach. You're going to want to work on, is there a story from childhood that's been holding you back? Like, hey, money doesn't grow on trees, and you need to work really hard or you don't deserve it. You know, all these stories that aren't even ours that we were ingrained into as kids. You want to work on those so that you flatten that out and you're not trying to faith over your fear. And of course, even if you need to faith over your fear, one of my favorite affirmations is my affirmations work for me, whether I believe them or not. So start there and then work on flattening some of those different stories. Number 3 is looking beyond yourself. So looking beyond yourself, this is those vision boards. This is listening and reading great books. Think Magic of Thinking Big, Alchemist. If you want to contact me for a PDF version, there are 21 authors in here that talk about wellness and how to be well and abundant. And I have a chapter in there, and you can contact me at my emails. And I want to just recap one more time that we have our 3 phases of wealth actualization. That's mentality, so you don't self-sabotage. That is organization, so that it doesn't slip through the cracks. That's creative manifestation, to allow yourself multiple streams of income and infinite wealth. And then our 3 sacred practices for abundance mentality: remind yourself, affirming yourself, and looking beyond yourself. And so definitely, if you are a speaker out there and you have no events going on and you want to increase your online presence, contact me about the Well Corona Summit. I would love to have you come speak. And we definitely would want to serve the world and with all that you have to say to people. And if you are looking to have someone teach you about keeping your money and earning more of it, contact me as well. And if you need your confidence because you are like, I'm not sure if I can do this, call Erin, because she is incredible and she just lights up her clients. And I have seen just the way that she lights up a room, and look how she's lit up this little corner of Facebook. Thank you all for listening. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Raina. That was awesome. And everyone, contact Raina if anything resonated with you. And that was really, really some great tips on how to stay abundant during any time, any season. So thank you so much, Raina. I really appreciate it. And next we have Nafsheen Luhar. Nafsheen is amazing. I've known Nafsheen about a year or so. I think just a year we met. And she has an incredible story. She's a transformational speaker and self-love coach. And she's going to support us today in surrendering to the unknown during this time in our lives and beyond, because there is so much unknown right now. And so many of us are in freak out mode because we don't know what's going to happen. And as I was reminded yesterday by one of my coaches, we're always in the unknown. We're never in the space of, oh, this is for sure going to happen this way. And so we're always in the unknown. So this is going to help you now, and it's going to help you beyond as well. So Nafsheen, I can't wait to hear what you've got to say. No, you're muted. Hold on one second. Okay, there you go.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. First of all, Erin, I appreciate you so much. It's been so incredible meeting you. And I've attended Erin's vision board workshop, and it's only January, I know, and that everything on the vision board is stalled, but I still had some things manifest already for me. So it's been amazing. And that was such a beautiful workshop to go to. So what, like Raina said, she lights up everything, and she lit up my life with how to make a vision board and really trust in it. So it's been great. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of what I do. The main part of my business is transforming adversity into art, and I collect stories of people who have overcome adversity on the positive side. I write their story, recreate their story in photography and images. I make a video, and then I make a painting of them at the end to celebrate them as a piece of art as a result of all the trauma they've been through. So it's to honor them, honor their pain as a piece of art. And in conjunction with that, I'm working on incorporating a 6-week coaching program that when I work, it usually takes me about 6 weeks to do the whole story. So I want to include a coaching with them so that by the time that we've finished working on their story, they have also gone through a transformation towards the end. And it's mostly about self-love, letting go of expectations, letting go of fear, forgiveness to all those that hurt us, and really just being in a space of knowing that everything is happening for you and not to you. So I'll share a little bit of my story as to where I am currently in my life. So last year was a very difficult year for me. I've been through a lot of other things, but last year was a really difficult year for me. I struggled with my business. My sister came from Africa. We were reunited after 22 years, and she was struggling. So I took time off of my business to try to empower her. And so I struggled with my business. I had gone through my own 8 months of depression for many other things. And, I went on this painting retreat, and the painter there, who was very inspiring, and he said, if you use your art as your main form of business, you're always going to create from a place of desperation. And as a creative individual, you want to create from a place of flow. So if you had a job that supplemented your work, then you would be able to create in a free space. So my first thought was like, oh my God, I feel that my business now, I have to get a job. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe that's going to free me to create even more freely and from a place of like a lot of like freedom and creativity and space and not worry about the finances. So the year before in 2019, I hadn't taken a flight or flown for 22 years because I was afraid of flying. But my nephew got married in Mexico and I had to like go there and fly. So I got over my fear of flying and it was really liberating. And I set an intention for this year coming forward that I really want to travel. When my sister was here and she was visiting, and she flew back to Kenya, I was at the airport and I was like, it would be really cool to get a job at an airport and just, check people in. It would be a chill job and you see so many different people. So I came back and one of my friends worked for Delta Airlines. So I contacted her and I said, do they have jobs in Sacramento where I could just check people in? And she's like, we don't have a hub here, but you can try. So I went on the Delta website and I looked and there was nothing, but there was an option there to fill out a talent application. So I filled the application and this was in the beginning of November. Well, I didn't hear anything back. And in the interim, I was applying for all kinds of jobs that I could do. I can teach kids art with my eyes closed. I can teach adults, art with my eyes closed. I can do customer service. I can do anything, but I was getting rejections all over the place. And I'm like, what is happening? So the day before Christmas, I get an email from Delta saying, we'd like for you to apply as a flight attendant. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And so I called my friend and she's like, why don't you just go through the process? And I'm like, okay. She's like, so you know that how their hiring process is. So the first option was a video interview and you have to record yourself and send it to them. And so Delta is a legacy airline. They have 250,000 people apply for this position every year and only 5,000 people are selected. Most of the flight attendants who get this job have already applied 5 or 6 times. My friend tried 14 times before she got in. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get this, but okay, let's just go through the process. So I recorded the video interview and you have to record it like as soon as possible. But I couldn't record it the next day because for a week and a half, I lost my voice. And so I was like, I'm already not going to get this. But I recorded the interview and I sent it anyway. And within 12 hours, they responded and said, we love your video interview. We'd like to take you to the next step. So then I had to do an assessment. I did the assessment. 3 days later, they're like, we loved your assessment. And then they're like, we have to do now a recorded interview, a face-to-face interview with another flight attendant on video. So that was going to take 3 weeks. And I did that video interview. And then they were going to respond to me within a week, letting me know for the final interview, which is in Atlanta in their headquarters. And it's a group interview of 60 people. And if you get to that point, you have already gotten further than most people get. And as my friend told me that, right now it's harder to get into Delta than it is to get into Stanford. So she's like, the fact that you made it even to the third interview where you were interviewing video to video with a flight attendant is a really big deal. So I was like, okay. And I was like, if I don't get to go to Atlanta, I still made it this far. Well, I waited Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because they don't work on Saturday, Sunday. And then I was like, I'm just not going to, this is it. That was nice while it lasted. Well, at the end of Monday, they sent me an email saying, congratulations, we invite you to Atlanta. And I was like, oh my God, I was like hyperventilating and like crazy. And I'm like, how is this happening? So first I was not attached to this job at all. I put my intention that I wanted to travel this year. And how that travel was going to come, I didn't know. But this was the path. I wasn't attached to any of the interview process. I'm like, I'm just going through it. And then when I started to be attached, I'm like, this could open up so many doors for me. I want to speak all over the world and collect stories of people from all over the world. Who knows who I'm going to meet on the flight, where it's going to take me. And I believe we're all here to enhance people's life and the human experience in some way, shape, or form. And if I'm on a flight flying every day, there's so many lives I could just touch just by being who I am. So I went to Atlanta. I had the face-to-face interview. And there were 65 people in that interview, and only 12 of us were offered the job on the spot. I was one of those people. Most people don't get the job at the first time going to Atlanta. So it all came to me as a giant, amazing gift. Now, the moment I got the job, I was so excited. But at the same time, there was a part of me that was like devastated because I look after my mom. I've been taking care of her for 20 years. And I'm a painter, I'm an artist. That's one of the pieces I'm working on at the moment. It's a giant piece. And my first thought was, oh my God, I'm going to get this job. I'm not going to be able to create. I'm not going to be able to paint. My soul is going to die. And I am neglecting my responsibility of my mom. When am I going to see her? How am I going to do my coaching business? What am I going to do? I want to finish writing my book. I want to collect all these stories. Like, how is that going to happen? But then I was like, I don't know how it's going to happen. So like all these worries were coming where I got this amazing opportunity. And the fact that I like overcame my fear of flying the year before had already prepared me for this opportunity. So the universe is working for me in the background with everything that I want. I just don't know how. And we always question the when and the how. And then this happened. So I was like, oh my God, I have all the time to paint now. And my mom works in a school, so she can't go to work. So we're spending all this quality time together right now. Like she's teaching me to crochet. I'm teaching her painting. I'm teaching her coloring. And we're having like literally the best relationship we have had in a really, really long time. I'm working on my speaking skills. I'm developing my coaching program. And everything is just flowing into place because I'm not controlling anything, because I'm realizing that there is no control. We have no control over anything. The fact that we blink our eye is even timed. It's even divinely all put together and orchestrated for us. So, you know, I've lived in fear so much my whole life of what's going to happen. I want it to be like it was, or how is it now? Is it going to get better? Or like, how is my future going to be? Who am I going to meet? Like all these things. And I just came to a place where like, there was like this giant rock and I'm just like, let it go. Because everything's literally working out exactly how you need. So my takeaway for everybody here would be, everything is always working out for us. Nothing is ever falling apart. It's always falling together. Even though it seems like it's falling apart, it's actually not. It's really falling together. We always get what we need, not what we want. And we have no control. Surrender is the only way everything that we want flows to us. And most importantly, I've learned that the process that we are going through right now is to heal us from within and is to heal humanity as a whole. That is why we are in this space. And sometimes when we're in a dark place and we feel like we have been buried, we have actually been planted. And I feel all of us right now are in a space of being underground where we're just all about ready to come out and boom onto this earth for a better humanity altogether. So just live in a state of surrender because it is liberating. And that's my message for you all today.
Wonderful. Yes. And you have really overcome so much in your life. I mean, there's so much more to your story. And you're just incredible, the way you surrender and just let go and let things happen the way they're supposed to happen. And I think that's such a huge message for everyone right now, because we're in such a state of unknown. More than, I mean, everything's always unknown, but we have this sense of security because we have a job to go to, or we have, you know, we know where we can get toilet paper and groceries, you know, normally, and we don't even know how to do that right now. And so it's such a huge lesson for us right now to just surrender and let go and say, okay, universe, you know, let's see what happens, you know. This could be just a really amazing time for all of us to just let go and surrender to the plans that the universe has for us. So thank you so much for that, Nafsheen. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that's my turn. So let me turn the timer off. Okay, so Gandhi once said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." right? You all know that quote. I have it on my refrigerator. I have it all sorts, I love that quote. Absolutely love it. And he lived that message. He truly lived that message. Through his nonviolent protests, he was able to make a huge impact in the world. He was able to free India from British rule. He was able to ease poverty. He was able to support women's rights and so much more in his lifetime because he was able to have a quiet confidence. He was able to make huge impacts around the world by sitting in silence, by going on hunger strikes. He inspired civil rights and freedom around the world by sharing his message and standing up for what he believed in. And he was an introvert, just so you know. I hear so often people will say to me, Erin, I'm an introvert, or I'm shy, I can't do that, I can't do what you do, or I can't be confident, or I can't put myself out there. And I say, well, shit, yeah, you can, because I used to be very shy, and I am an introvert, and I'm not so shy anymore. And Gandhi also said that in a gentle way you can shake the world. So you can be a very, very quiet, gentle person and be a wallflower and still shake the world and still make your impact. Okay, so today I want to talk about different ways you can make your impact right now and even past this time that we're in. But Gandhi wasn't afraid to stand up for what he believed in. He used his voice, and he used his body in a way to protect or to protest against what he felt wasn't right. Right? And so tonight I ask you, how can you be the change that you wish to see in the world? What can you do right now, today, this week, next week, to support other people? There are so many people that are suffering right now, and you've got what they need. Right? So when people are afraid, which so many people are right now, they're seeking confidence and they're seeking clarity from their leaders. And they want to see hope. They want hope and light through the darkness. We're in a very dark time in a lot of ways. And so it's our job to show the light, to be the light, to show up as light. That's why I have this group. That's why I'm doing these speaker hours with these incredible people that I know are sharing light in the world. And so what can you do to make a difference right now? You are a leader. I believe that. Every single one of you watching is a leader, and you have what it takes inside of you to make a difference. And it doesn't have to be some grand, major, big gesture. It doesn't have to be this major thing. It can be a little tiny act of kindness. It can be one little step, one little thing that will impact someone. Okay? Maybe it's writing thank you notes to nurses or to people that you know who are doing good work right now. Maybe it's collecting thank you notes from other people and sending them to your local hospital. Maybe it's making a really big sign and putting it in your front window where your neighbors who are walking by can see it, saying thank you to the frontline workers. Or maybe it's giving a message of love in a big poster in your window or out on the sidewalk. I've been dying to get some sidewalk chalk so I could get out on my sidewalk and write some inspirational messages. Maybe you call someone that you haven't talked to in a while and just reach out. What's on your heart right now? Tell me in the comments on Facebook, what is on your heart right now? What message do you want to share? What kinds of things do you want to do? I saw my friend Grace on Facebook today. She and her 2 kids made a big poster thanking frontline workers, and they went to one of the hospitals and they stood outside, way far away from the doors, but a lot of people inside the frontline workers gathered, and they could see the signs and they could see the love that was being shared from the children. And that was just such an amazing thing for them to do today. A few years ago, I actually, after the last election that we had, where there was a lot of hatred and anger being spread around, I had on my heart to spread love. And I had this idea to make little stuffed hearts that people could wear as a pin, or they could just put in front of them to remind them that they were loved and that they were loved as well. And I put a little message on there, typed out a little message and cut them out and pinned them on there. And wherever I went, if I went to the grocery store or wherever I would have my hearts with me. And as I was checking out or meeting people, I would say, "Excuse me, I have a little gift for you." And I would give them this little heart. And the fabric was heart, little hearts on there too. So it was pretty, and they were stuffed and felted, and everyone would just light up. And the note said something like, "I'm spreading love. And this heart is to remind you that you are loved and you are loved in this world." And I encourage them to pay it forward. So you can do something like that. You could do, and I also want to say about that is that it took courage. It took courage in getting past fears to say to a stranger, "I have a gift for you." Most people would go, "You have a gift for me? Who are you? You don't know me," right? And they kind of put up a wall at first. And then you hand them a heart and you hand them love, and they just light up. It just brought so much joy to them. And some people would say, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That is exactly what I needed today." Other times I'd take walks through my neighborhood and I would just string them onto people's cars, onto their little, rear view mirrors or whatever, and just leave a little love wherever I went. And I had to get out of my comfort zone, for sure. That was not comfortable for me. But the thing is that when you do these things, when you get outside your comfort zone and you stretch beyond what you're used to, what's comfortable, and you get courageous, you build your confidence. You stretch your comfort zone. And the more you do the things that are uncomfortable, the easier they get, the more confident you get. And over time, those things get easier, and you're able to do more and more and more. Like I said, I used to be really, really shy. And now I'm a confidence coach, and I speak, and I do my own retreats, and I do my own events, and I'm leading this group, and I'm doing all these things. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to say that you can do it too. Whatever's on your heart, whatever message you want to share, you can do it too. Absolutely can. And you can start small. I've taken a lot of big leaps, but I've taken a lot more little baby steps, daily little baby steps. In college, one of the things I did, I literally started college, moved away from home and started college 2 weeks before 9/11. How terrifying was that, to wake up 2 weeks after moving away and finding out about 9/11, right? And my roommate and I went around and we found this group on campus called DREAM, Daring to Reach Equality Among Many. And we canvassed the campus, and we left notes on cars and doors and spread the message of equality and love and peace all over the campus. And we actually were awarded Residents of the Month for doing that. That was scary. But my vision has always been bigger than my fears. And I want that for you too. I want you to have such a big vision of impacting others that it is way bigger than your fears. And no matter what, you continue to bust past those fears. You continue to grow that comfort zone in order to build your confidence, because people need confident leaders right now. Some other things that are happening right now. I interviewed the Tower of Niceness yesterday, and if you missed it, it's in the group. Go watch it. It's about a 12 to 15-minute interview. Amazing family, the Sharp family out in Roseville, California, right near here. They started the Tower of Niceness about 5 years ago. The 7-year-old in the family had the idea. He said, "I want to do nice things for people. I want to help the homeless." At 7 years old. And he says, I want to raise money, but I don't want to keep any of it. And his rule is that they don't keep a single penny of all the money that they've raised. And in these 5 years, they've created a nonprofit, an official nonprofit, and they've raised over $136,000 because they have a mission to help people. So he and his brother, the 7-year-old and his 9-year-old brother, started it, and now they're 13 and 15 or something. And every year they have several fundraisers. They do a fundraiser at Thanksgiving time, and they raise a ton of money, thousands of dollars every year, and it grows every year. And they buy sleeping bags and blankets and toiletries and shoes, and people donate clothes, and they hand them out to the homeless on Thanksgiving morning. This year they actually had to rent a moving truck to fit all of the items in. And people brought their own stuff, gently used items from their homes. And they raised money at Christmas time to buy toys for children who are in hospitals and can't be home at Christmas. They have donated money during the hurricanes and the fires. And now, during this time, they're raising money to donate meals to those in need, for people who can't leave home, for seniors and high-risk people who cannot leave to go to the grocery store. And they're also donating meals to the frontline workers, to nurses who are working 12, 15 hours a day. They're delivering food to them so that they also have food to eat. And so I want to encourage you to go watch that video, or at least check them out. It's the Tower of Niceness on Facebook. And for just $10, they get a catered meal. So if you can donate or share, do that, because they're incredible. And like I said, every single penny goes back to the community, and they don't keep any of it. So where in your life, what message do you have that you want to share? What is on your heart right now? What is something that keeps coming back to you over and over and over again that you think, I would really love to do that, but maybe there's some fear there, or maybe you just haven't taken that step forward for whatever reason? This is not a time to shrink, people. This is a time to spread your light, to uplift and empower others. Your confidence in your message is incredibly important right now. Let me ask you, have you ever seen someone who's making a big impact that doesn't have confidence? That's shrinking back and not sharing their message, who's not stepping forward? You can be a quiet leader, but you got to have confidence. Okay? You have to be a beacon of light. The world needs you now. Okay, it's time to step up. If you've been holding back, if you've been hiding, it's time for you to step up now. So what can you do to help others? Post it in the comments. It can be something super small, or it can be on the larger scale, like some of the things I've talked about. These small acts, though, can go a very long way to helping others. So if you aren't sharing your message, if you're holding yourself back, I want you to ask yourself, stop and ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What is stopping me from sharing my message? What is stopping me from helping other people right now? Is there a belief there? A limiting belief, a fear? Is there someone else's belief maybe in your subconscious mind saying you're not good enough? Maybe it's a message that you heard from someone saying, why do you want to do that? Well, you can't do that. Okay, when we hold ourselves back from what we truly want, often it's fear of being hurt. It's fear that we're not enough, that we don't have enough value to share, that our message isn't good enough, or that maybe no one wants to hear what I have to say. It's not valuable, or they've already heard what I have to say from someone else, right? We have all of these limiting beliefs that stop us from making our impact. And I'm here to tell you, you have an impact to make. You have light to spread. People need your message, and they need to hear it from you. Okay? So in order to do that, you might need to build your confidence. You might need to create new empowering beliefs, which might require digging deep. I've dug real deep in my life in order to build my confidence. It doesn't just come because you just make a decision. You have to do the work. So action, or building confidence, takes action. You have to do something. You can't just visualize being confident and become confident. You can visualize doing the thing that you'd like to do to get you excited about it, to get you out of your fear a little bit, but the action is what actually builds your confidence. Okay? So if you've been feeling a little helpless or hopeless, I want you to remember that you are love and light, and that you can make a difference, and that who you are makes a difference. All you have to do is be you. That's all the world needs is you. Just be you. Okay? And the more confident that you are in yourself and who you are, the more your light will shine and the bigger difference that you're going to make. And the more people that you're going to be able to impact. Be the light that they're seeking. Okay? So what's really been on my heart the past couple of weeks at least has been to support people even more with what I do. And to support you to release those blocks and the limits and the fears and the limiting beliefs that you've placed on yourself that are hiding your light, that are stopping you from making your impact. And what I would like to do is to gift you with a no strings attached Be the Light confidence call so that I can support you in gaining clarity and figuring out those things that are in your way. As Raina has said earlier, she had a call with me last week and it was really helpful to her to get a different voice, to pull out those things that are holding her back and to figure out those things. And I want you to be able to inspire and impact more people. And so I'm going to give you tools, I'm going to give you breakthroughs and get you inspired to take action. Okay, so I will post in the comments the link to book your time with me. This call is valued at $200, but I'm giving it to you as my gift because I feel it's my duty and my obligation right now to support you and for me to step up even more as a leader, to share my light more and to share my gifts more with you so that you can be lifted up and you can spread your message more and believe in yourself even more. Okay, it's time. We've got time to dig deep to build your confidence. Okay, so join us next week. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Join us next week on Wednesday at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to bring all the ladies back just so we can see their shining faces as I wrap up. Next week, we're going to have Megan Fenyo, who is the founder of the I Am Enough movement. She's fantastic. And actually, she interviewed me a while back, and that podcast just came out today. So you go to my profile and you can listen to that podcast. Dr. Marlena Urich, who has been recognized by the U.S. Congress for her work with children in schools. And we're going to talk with Michelle McClintock, who's an amazing healer, and she's going to take us through a healing process as well. And Carrie Faith Knutson is also going to be with us next week, and she's a positive mindset coach, so she's going to teach us how to stay positive through this time. And as always, I will leave you with my very favorite quote ever by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So until next week, everyone, be the light. Keep sharing this group, inviting your friends and family, and growing it so we can make the biggest ripple effect across the globe. Remember, your people need you. Thanks for being here. Mwah.
I'm going to have a good inspirational cry after this. So moving.